Guys, at Norma Messy here. It's the end of the day. And I'm not going to tell you what happened in yesterday's dance class. I'm going to tell you one little thing that happened. And that was kind of my fault. It wasn't a fun thing. But I got a piece of peeled skin on my foot. Because that's kind of my fault for two reasons. Number one, I was going full out the entire time. And number two, I didn't want to mark anything. I do not like marking a dance. Like, for those who don't know, there's a thing in dance called, we're gonna mark the dance. And what that means is it's kind of like you're doing a walkthrough of the dance. So you're not going full out, and there's stuff on the floor in the routine, or like a jump or something, or maybe a turn. You're like kind of just not like going on the floor and actually doing. You're just kind of like sometimes saying it out loud, sometimes just saying it in your head of like what comes next and what goes where in the dance. It's like kind of like, I want to say it's a way to like kind of practice it a couple of times. I prefer doing it full out. And I do not like marking a dance. Like, I am the type where, like, full out every time. That's what I love. I am type where, like, I don't do 100%. I don't do 200%. No, I'm talking, and I'm going to do everything I can. I'm talking, if I do anything less than, like, 5,000%, it's like, what was I thinking? I go as full out as I possibly can. When I start getting tired, 1 second, I'm adjusting. And yes, there is still kind of some glitter on my face. But I generally, I like to go out and, full out as much as I possibly can. When I start getting tired, or I push harder. Or if I start feeling lazy, I work 1,000 times harder. Or if I'm energized and ready to go, I go. If I always use some reason I'm tired, or I'm feeling a little lazy, or I need a break. I use that to make myself work harder. Or that's something that I started doing. And I am going to have to use my skincare set. Because I'm now realizing I haven't used it yet this week. And I'm now realizing I have a pimple or something. I'll fix that after this video. But I'm not going to say really what happened because, I'm just not going to say. So I'm not going to say if I was filmed or not. You're just going to have to wait until this TV show comes out to potentially maybe see me on Zoom, maybe not. What I mean by that is maybe see me, on Zoom, on the, show or not at all. It depends on, well, I'm not saying, okay? It really doesn't depend on something. It kind of does. It depends on if you were filmed or not. But I'm not saying, okay? That way you have a reason to go watch the show when it comes out. I do not know what the show is called. When it is announced one day, I will tell you. But last night, the other thing that I will say is it was a late night for me. I'm talking after 10, which is a late night in our house. That actually is pretty late, I feel like. But then again, in our house, what I mean by that is, mine, my dog Sam, and my parents' house. Anything after 7:30 is considered a late night. And so, like, it was definitely a late night, and so I got a piece of peeled skin. Also because my JoJo shoes that I love, the padding is coming up on the inside of them, but that's because they're old. Like, I'm not joking, this is like year 2. I want to say like year 2, maybe, I feel like it's year 2. I could be wrong on that, but they're old and they are definitely worn. They still fit, and that's because I'm short and I'm not gonna grow any taller, or I'm not supposed to, according to doctors and measurements and stuff like that. Like, but that's okay. Being short is okay. Being tall is okay. Being average is okay. Every size is okay. So, like, but like for me, I don't mind the late nights and stuff. Like, I generally don't. And I look at it, I was thinking about this, and I'm like, so much stuff about training to be a pop star, so much of it is not easy, and for me it comes so easily. And I'm like, there's things that I don't think twice about on like being hard or not, like, because they're so easy for me to like do. That I'm like, or some people it's not easy, it's really hard. Like, for some people, I feel like training to be a pop star is like extremely hard. And then for like some people like me, it's kind of easy. And then like for some people, some stuff is like really hard and some stuff is easy. And I'm not saying everything in dance or like everything about training to be a pop star is easy for me, but a lot of it is, and I'm like, some of the stuff that like comes to mind of like not being easy is like styles of dance. Some, like, every dancer is different. And there's some that, like, ballet and technique is their area, like their strong thing, but you put them in a hip hop class and it's not their area. Because ballet and hip hop are opposites, complete opposites. Then, like, I'm like, so like just different styles of dance. Like for some people, like they can be really, really good in one style, put them in a style that's kind of the opposite, and they're not as good. Not that that's not a bad thing. It's like, it's not that it's not a good thing. Like, I feel like, well, kind of not. And like, it depends on what area you want to go in. And I say that like when, like if you want to go and become like a like famous acrobat, and that works for like Cirque du Soleil and that sort of thing, and do a bunch of like really cool acro stuff, then you have to be good at acro. And I feel like with that you also like probably have to be good at like doing aerialist work, that sort of thing. But then like if you want to go off and I don't really know what I'm like into something in tap or jazz. I don't really know anything. Like then I feel like you have to be good in tap or jazz, depending which one you choose. And then like if you want to go off and be like a prima ballerina and join like some ballet company, and like or like do like a Broadway show or something based around ballet, then you have to like be good in ballet. Like or if you want to become like a performer or like pop star that does a lot of performing, then you have to be good in like hip hop and like performing sort of stuff. Like it depends on where you want to go with dance. So like you have to be good at something specific. And then there's just a well-rounded dancer that like doesn't really know what they want to do. They just want to take every opportunity. So yeah, like that situation. But also another thing that I thought about that like is not easy for some people. Oh, is the long hours. Like with dance, the long hours. Like I feel like dance takes up a lot of my life. Like I definitely will say it takes a lot of hours that I put into it, and for some people, I'm sure that's not easy. Like, and I think about this way, like, I, yes, in a way, like, I don't go to public school for, like, in a way, partly because my life. Like, because I'm training to be a pop star, and I like being a social media influencer, and I like how my life is. I feel like creatively homeschool just works best for me. It's what works best for me, and it's what I like the best. And so, like, yeah, like, here's the thing, so with that, like, but the long hours, the amount of hours I put in to, like, training to be a pop star is a lot. So, like, and I say it this way, and, like, I don't go to school dances. I never been to a school dance. Instead, I take dance class. Let's see. Instead of, like, hanging out with, like, a bunch of, like, school friends, and instead, I hang out with a bunch of famous people on Zoom. Instead of, like, I traveling a bunch to, like, travel and, like, instead, I travel to go to concerts or that are, like, no more than, like, 5 or 6 hours away from us. From, like, me and my family. And, like, instead of, like, instead of, like, I'm trying to think here, I'm, like, instead of going to, like, school, like, football or, like, basketball or soccer game, instead, and I do my own exercise by I'm pushing myself in dance to be a stronger dancer, and that is great. And instead of, like, I'm like putting thought into like, oh, like one day becoming like a scientist or something, which we all know that's not happening for me. Like I'm for multiple reasons. Number one, I find that stuff boring. Number two, like that's just not me. Instead, I put thought into training to be a pop star. So it's like it's a lot of like I feel like in ways I luck out better in the end because I get to have fun with it all. And like homeschool is still school. Like there's still reading, writing, history, math, spelling, and geography. Like there's still like a bunch of like school stuff. I'm not gonna name everything. I'm just gonna like tell you it's still school. But also it works best for my life. I like my life. My life is great. The only thing I would change about it is I would be finding my crush. That's the only thing I would change. And like at this point, and yes, like I would maybe like if I could pick like 4 things I would change. Generally, that was a hard one. The first two are kind of easy, which is Oh, wait. No. Okay, like, the first three are, like, easy. I'm trying to think here of a fourth one. But, like, the first one would definitely be finding my crush. The second one would be in like more followers and like more fans. Like I wanna like have like I wanna reach like 1,000 subscribers. I wanna have like a large fan base because I love my fans. And like I generally like here's the thing is that at like I feel like I don't ever really have conversations with like actual like fans or anything. Like, I feel like now when I go to my DMs and like literally I feel like it's either like I'm some form of dance teacher that works professionally as a dance teacher and like that's amazing and it's like one of my dance teachers or it's someone famous or I feel like it's my two dance like my two or it's my three dance friends and well one of them I don't know if I would consider them a dance friend anymore or I don't really know because they're a dancer they don't do worldwide anymore like but they did it once. I don't know if they did more than that. Like, once. Like, so I feel like my DMs have turned into more like, not really a lot of fans, but I feel like I feel free to leave a comment or something like on my Instagram or like, because it's always great getting, and like, it's always great to like, I kind of figure out like, or know how like, what you like about like my videos or like my Instagram posts, like what you like about it, so I can give you the content that you guys like. And it's always like great to like know like I am like how you like discovered me. And like a video got recommended to you and you watched it and then like, oh this person is pretty cool, like or what, like or if it was like like maybe you knew someone, maybe you know someone who like watches like my videos or something and like they like recommended me or something to you, or you like search or a certain type of video and one of mine got recommended, like or if it was that you generally saw like a like friend or family member like watching my channel or something, and then you looked into my channel and like started watching me. Like, it's always great to know that sort of stuff. Truthfully, I have no clue on any of my fans because no one ever, like, there was, like, one or two that, like, said that, like, my Instagram got recommended and they, like, just started following. So, like, that's great. But, like, feel free to, like, comment on my stuff. Like, I'm, like, very picky with responding on, like, what I say when I respond. And but I'm always down to, like, I just, like, I either, like, respond with, like, just a fun little, like, heart emoji or something like that. Or I'm all, actually, no, I feel like I never respond with the heart emoji. But, like, I'm always down to like respond and be like and say like thank you for like being a fan. Like I'm always down for that. And that like and I'm always down to hear your like video ideas because here's the thing. And I want to post stuff that like I can actually like post and enjoy like filming and stuff, but like I can't do like I want to say that, like, I can't really do, like, baking or cooking. And because the problem with that is I love cooking and baking. And so, like, I like doing that sort of stuff, but I, like, don't do it that much. Partly because I bake something like maybe brownies or something, and then I parents, like, a week later, want to, bake something else. And then, but I can't because they still have, some brownie left over or something, so that situation. And I don't do, food videos. And it has to be videos that I can, do by myself. Or maybe with my dad. Because I can, convince him to, do a video with me or something. I have a, really good video idea. And I'm gonna, after I finish filming this, I'm gonna post a thing on my Instagram story because I have a video idea that might actually be kind of cool. But, yeah, because a video idea I came up with, and I thought about it and I went I should do a video, a Q&A video. But instead of a Q&A, it's a little different. I should do one with my dad, and it's a video based around, it's more like a how well my dad knows me, situation. Because by, having you guys, posting, a thing on my Instagram story, so you guys can leave, questions, and then, I can, ask him, the question, you guys can leave the questions, and so it's completely up to you on, the concept, and, if they're not inappropriate or rude, I'll, use them, and then on, how well my dad knows me questions, and then I'll ask him, and, I hear his answers, and then and then tell him if he got them right or wrong. So that just seems like a video that I feel like would be kind of it could be something. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna suggest one of my favorite videos I have ever filmed is my dad does my makeup video, because that video so what happened, because I did mine a little differently, where I got a bunch of makeup one year for Christmas, and so I went oh, I'll make a video, have my dad do my makeup. But I gave him some instructions, so I made rules where if it was something that was gonna be hard to take off, I was gonna be able to tell him no. I was gonna be able to give him some instructions, and with each thing I would give him I could give him one hint or one thing about it, but I couldn't tell him what to use what for. It was more with some stuff, one form of something, so it could be I could hand him the thing and be for an example, if it was, we're gonna say a powdered foundation, I'm allowed to hand it to him and say one thing about it, I'm powder. Or I'm allowed to say if he, or I can change it to a no, so a one no situation where if it's something that not that hard to take off, and he tried to ask where do you put this on your eyes? It's a powder foundation. Actually, you kind of can, but or we're gonna say oh, do you put this on your lips? And because you can put powder foundation on your eyes as a base, if you do it correctly. And I'm allowed to say no and stop a disaster from him. But that video was fun to film. It was one of my personal favorites because it was just funny. Yeah, especially with the eyeliner. That was funny. the thing that was kind of like funny about it was that I'm not gonna say he like did not realize it was eyeliner, and then I corrected him. Basically, and then after I filmed that video, I did a touch-up on the makeup because I want to actually wear the makeup like throughout the day, and I want to like touch it up a little bit, like nothing like crazy, just a little bit of like touch-ups here and there on like things that maybe weren't fully blended, or like, or there was like a glob or something that needed, like we need to like do some just little touch-ups. And I did my eyeliner very badly. Like, very, very, very badly. So that was just a video that I enjoyed. Like, it was funny to film. I feel like the one video that I will say, like, was probably my most, like, if I had to pick, like, a least favorite, like, video to film, I would probably say the fidget trading video because it didn't do very good, and overall, like, it wasn't a fabulous video. Wait, no. It was not the fidget trading video that was my least favorite. My least favorite was actually the music video. I wish I would have told him sooner, because that video went through it. What I mean by that was there were so many things I filmed, and then also I wasn't sure if Bella was gonna be in the video or not. I wanted her in the video. But I'm like, I don't know if it was gonna work out, like things like that. It didn't work out. And then also, because I put my face through it. And then I forgot to put that clip in the video. What I mean by I put my face through it, I filmed a scene, and I put like this very, very, very full red lipstick all over my face. So it looked like blood was on my face. A very bold red blood. And the reason behind it was I was playing a character, a possessed, bloody, kind of evil queen. And that makeup took, not joking, 30 minutes to take off. Just the blood. Or it wasn't actual blood, don't worry. It was just a very bold red lipstick. But, it took, I want to say it took, 25 minutes. And then I got most of it off to where it looked still not fabulous, but it looked a lot better. And then then I literally, had my dad help me, take the rest off. It went through it, and the video didn't even do that great. So, also, it was my first time using my camera that I love my camera, but it's a lot of work to, put. I haven't learned how to use a computer editing app. I am used to, my tablet editing, and I'm used to just not editing. Yeah, I said I was going to start, multiple times, and then that just kind of, maybe one day that will happen, maybe it won't. But, that video, but also, I'll say my second least favorite is the fidget trading video that I did with my dad, because I kept all the fidgets at the end, because I bought a bunch of fidgets. I literally bought like a bunch of fidgets. And like so many fidgets, and I did like a little fidget trading video with my dad, and it didn't do great, but it was kind of like a cute video. I feel like it didn't do great, and it wasn't that like I feel like it was a more boring video to film, but I look back on it as like a fun attempt of me trying something that was popular and me massively failing at it, but that's okay. And also, I can't really do like videos involving like spending money or like going somewhere. So like primarily stick it down if you're gonna give like a video suggestion, stick it down to like Q&A, never have I ever, or truth or dare. Well, like we can no, I'm not gonna say truth or dare. Like stick it to Q&As, never have I ever's, or yoga, like dance related, maybe singing related, or maybe something like makeup related, and or if we really need something else, maybe like a room tour, or like or some like tips or something on like dance or something, like stick it down to that sort of thing. You know, like that's kind of like my area where I can shine a little bit more and can actually do. And in this video, I'm gonna like something that I said I would never, well, I said I was gonna do, then I said I wasn't. But in this video gets at least 4 likes. Now 4 likes is shooting high for me. I will read a section of my diary. I will read like a small, very small section of it out there.